Our Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you for this beautiful day that you've given us. Now, Father, we ask you to give wisdom, patience, and discernment to our leadership as they strive to unite our nation and our county. Lord, we pray you'll guide each and every one of them. And we pray this in the name above all names, our Lord and our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Precinct Chairman Jamie Van Horn is going to lead us in the pledge. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. You may be seated. We'll call on Linda Fox to introduce our candidates and office holders. Linda.
Elected officials here tonight. We have J.D. Lambright, our county attorney. Louise Hancock is standing in for State Senator Robert Nichols. Bob Bagley is of Montgomery County Hospital District Precinct 4. Justice of the Peace Wayne Mack, Precinct 1. Philip Cash, Precinct 1. Luther Charlie Riley, Precinct 2. Mike Trumbull is our county clerk. Commissioner Mike Nutter, Precinct 1. Did I miss any elected officials? Right here.
Ted Fletcher, City Shenandoah Councilman.
Katie Correa, SREC, SD3.
Thank you for all the office holders and candidates being here. It's very helpful to our party to know that you support our party, and we appreciate it very much. Those of you who do not know, I'm Dr. Wally Wilkerson. I am the chairman of the At this time, we'll call for approval of the minutes. The minutes are here on the desk. What are your point of order?
This meeting was called tonight as a special meeting by more than the required percentage of precinct chairs. Proper notification was given, an agenda was presented for this meeting. Even under the expired bylaws, this meeting time to be in order is called by the precinct chairs. The agenda accompanying the meeting called by the precinct chairs is the proper agenda for this meeting, sir. The chairman's proposed agenda is out of order because the chair's meeting.
What are your point of order, sir?
The chair's meeting called, this agenda is out of order, sir. The agenda is out of order.
Really?
What part of the agenda is out?
What part of it, sir?
The agenda is not in compliance with Article 6, Section 2 of the MCRP bylaws, so it is out of order.
Those are the bylaws and the rules invalid. Your point is not well taken.
I appeal the decision of the chair.
Second.
Point of order, point of information. Was that an opinion or was that a ruling?
An opinion?
Yes. Okay. Then there's no grounds for objection.
Before we go any further, I would appreciate it if you give us time to introduce our party attorney that it's understandable.
Point of order, Daniel Europe was the duly elected parliamentarian under the bylaws. He's the only parliamentarian here tonight.
That we have with us a parliamentarian, and without objection, I wish to appoint Mr. Dennis Clark as our parliamentarian. Mr. Clark has been a professional registered parliamentarian for 42 years, and is a member of the National Association of Parliamentarians and the State Association of Parliamentarians, an organization which he has served as state president for 2 separate terms, the first from 1987 to 1988, and then 2014 to 2015. He has written articles for the NAP quarterly publication, the National Parliamentarian, and is one of a handful of PRPs in NAPs who train those who are seeking to become credentialed parliamentarians. Also, to rectify those seeking to retain their credentials. He has taught hundreds of workshops around the country on parliamentary procedure, presiding skills, and the like. He is a retired public school teacher and a paralegal, and now a full-time writer and speaker and parliamentarian. Without objection, I will appoint him as parliamentarian for the meeting.
I appeal the chair's decision.
I second.
Speak up, please.
This is a debatable motion, and each chair will have only one occasion in which to speak. One member will be allowed to speak each time.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
What's your point of order?
We already have a motion on the floor, which is Mr. Crumby's motion to appeal the decision of the chair regarding the agenda.
I rule that out of order because it was based on objection and not a ruling.
Point of inquiry. Is this gentleman acting as your personal legal counsel?
I beg your pardon?
Is this gentleman acting as your personal legal counsel? Is he acting as parliamentarian or your personal legal counsel?
He's a parliamentarian.
There's already a parliamentarian.
Okay. Would you do that?
Point of order. Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
What is your point of order, sir?
He has not been duly elected as a parliamentarian. He's acting as a parliamentarian. That's out of order.
Point of information.
And until to cut to the chase, and until his ruling is overturned, if that is the case, then I'll continue to serve as a parliamentarian.
That's wrong.
It may well be, but that is the rule. The point of order on the agenda was ruled out of order because it was an opinion and not a ruling. However, the point of order on the appointment of parliamentarian is a ruling. And so that is a legitimate point of order. We can debate that according to the rules in Robert. On an appeal, the chair is allowed to actually speak from the chair and may speak 2 times on the issue. Other members may only speak 1 time. Normally, members are allowed to speak twice on any debatable motion, but on a particular motion, you may only speak 1 time. At the conclusion of the debate, we'll take the vote. A tie vote actually sustains the ruling of the chair should it come to an actual tie vote, because it's assumed that the chair would vote in favor of the non-ruling. And finally, the chair will ask the question at the conclusion of the debate, shall the decision of the chair be sustained? If you agree with his decision, you would vote yes. If you disagree with his decision, you would vote no. So the chair has the opportunity to speak first in the debate, any upon others who wish to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Clark.
So, Board of Inquiry.
No.
Mr. Chairman, could you tell the members of the committee to quit telling me what to do?
I never knew that was
It is.
So there's, so, point of information. So we're voting, you want to appoint him as parliamentarian without objection. We objected. So therefore, I didn't hear a ruling. So I'm talking to the chair.
Yes.
What was your ruling, Mr. Chairman?
So he would be appointed for a term.
So, okay, well, I guess we'll vote on this.
And then you can decision from your prayer, and then receive the second, so that
Point of information, what are we voting on?
Whether I can go home or
Point of information,
What's your voting?
Danny Precinct 25. Are we voting on, bylaws were voted in on June 26th? By those bylaws, are we, doing this?
Well, to be honest with you, they weren't voting on it.
Sure they were.
Yes, they were.
Okay.
Point of inquiry, can we, point of inquiry,
Sure.
can all of these over here, can they continue to chime in into the meeting?
You what?
Is that proper procedure? There is the First Amendment.
Is it a bylaw that people over here have to be quiet?
It was point of inquiry. That's what I made, point of inquiry.
you may want to suggest that if you're not
Well, we don't want to do anything to disturb Jimmy. So, if that's possible. And the motion before the floor is whether or not we agree to appoint Mr. Clark as parliamentarian, correct?
That's correct. And if you want to speak to that, you may, and then ask for further.
Yeah. I have nothing against the person that was named parliamentarian. I remember sitting up there. But I thought that it was in the best interest of our party for us to have a professional person who does nothing but rule parliamentary procedure.
Point of personal privilege.
Hold the applause, please.
Point of personal privilege. I can't understand what he's saying. Can you use the microphone, please?
I wish to appoint him as our parliamentarian, as I'll repeat again. I felt that this group deserved professional, someone who knew parliamentary procedure much better than any of us could know it. And that's my sole reason for doing it. I don't know what his ruling might be. He might rule against something not far. But if he does, I know it's fair. So in my opinion, we should approve him as our parliamentarian because he is a professional and he will do the job in the right way. Not that the other person seated up there would do anything wrong, but if you going to have brain surgery, you go to brain surgery. And if you're going to have real parliamentary procedure, you use someone that's trained as a professional parliamentarian. So the chair will now recognize anyone that wants to speak for and against.
For.
Okay? Anybody have?
I'll start. Hey y'all, Gary Reynolds, Precinct 15. I don't really need this mic, obviously. Brian, I love you as a brother. Okay, we are 100% diametrically at loggerheads about was there a new society when the precinct chairs turned over in January, yes or no? No, there was no new society. It is a ploy. It's a legal, maneuver. It's never been that way. It is not that way in any other organization. And we agree on so much. Why don't we just move forward here?
We're debating on whether to fix it.
Okay, but this is the crux of it. It all goes to this point. Was there a new society? Are there new bylaws that were approved by a simple majority? No. Our bylaws say 2/3. Okay, that's my opinion, not my ruling. I love y'all. Let's get on about the business of electing Republicans here. Get past this nonsense of rules, please. Come on. Come on, please.
Speaker needs to focus on whether or not we appoint him parliamentarian. Yes, sir.
Precinct 60, I'd like to speak against. Andy Nedrow, Precinct 60. On June 26th, we elected a parliamentarian. And a parliamentarian was elected by these people here. Why should we overturn our own election? That's my point.
Okay, we've had one for and one against. Yes, Todd Baker. Are you for or against?
Scott, you're not just any member.
I am nefarious member number one. I'm sorry. That's to you, it's not me.
Yes, Joe.
Let's say one for and one against it.
Yes.
Better stop me number two against it. We already have one against and
Well,
one for.
you speaking for? You want to speak against?
I don't want to speak at all. I'm just saying that you said one for and one against. And it's not even the second.
One for, one against. It's unlimited unless you have certain buildings. The parliamentarian actually said that any member may have an opportunity to speak one time. So if we have to, we can go through everyone. That's right. One. Is that clear? All right. I am Scott Baker. I am from Precinct 23. I would humbly ask Mr. Uri, since he is particularly on one side of this issue, obviously, and to my knowledge, not a professional parliamentarian, that's true, to step aside and allow the professional parliamentarian to guide the proceedings of this, because the question is whether or not which set of bylaws are legitimate. We need some kind of neutral party. That's the reality. You guys are a neutral party. And I'm sure you don't think I'm a neutral party. So, we either find a way to meet in the middle on some things, or this is a joke, it's a farce, and we're broadcasting to the web how united we are as Republicans.
The Democrats are watching.
The bylaws have divided us, and it's up to us to be adults and come somewhere, some way to the middle. That means both sides are going to have to give
Talking about the
something.
parliamentarian right now?
Yes, this will be part of that compromise. Coming together in the middle and accepting a neutral party. He's neutral. He may not rule like you want. He may not rule like I want. But he is not on this board and this committee. And in fact, there's even going to be an additional question about how valid everybody's vote is, because some of you were seated under the different bylaws.
Mr. Chairman?
Before you kill this forward, please make the point that parliamentarian is not controlling the
The parliamentarian wanted to advise you that he always gives advice. He doesn't make rules. That I'm the chair and I'll make the rules. Okay?
Mr. Chairman?
We have someone who wants to speak again.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman?
Behind you.
Behind you, Dr. Lawler. I'd like to speak against.
Oh, I'm sorry. Amazing.
Y'all elected me at the last to be parliamentarian. It's not a job that these are not fun, right? They're work, okay? But I object to the insinuation of Scott that because I have an opinion, I'm a lawyer, and I read the law, and the law tells us one thing. We voted under Rule 8E of the Republican Party of Texas rules. It says very clearly that pursuant to Section 8E, the first organizational meeting held by the County Executive Committee after the election is an organizational meeting where we will adopt bylaws. I was on the law review. I practiced law for 7 years at an AmLaw 100 firm. In all respect, I do know how to read the law, and I can be fair. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I object to the insinuation of the figure that I can somehow not be fair because I have an opinion about the law. The rule specifically says that bylaws will be adopted for the biennium. That means 2 years. Congress passes new laws at the beginning of every congressional session. Congress passes new bylaws at the beginning of each session. Texas legislature passes bylaws at the beginning of each session. Every deliberative body does the same thing. The bylaws, which were acknowledged by the chair, by his general counsel, by his parliamentarian, at the day of the organizational meeting, they all clearly stated that we need to adopt new bylaws. The old bylaws say that they were adopted. Black's Law Dictionary defines adopted as specifically for the organizational meeting, and it reflates to bylaws for a new meeting. Because the old executive committee did not exist, it was new members were elected. Because of that, they're trying to stage and
talk about the parliament.
They're trying to stage an overturning of the election that we elected. Guys, if you want to have order, the parliamentarian was elected by you at the last meeting. They're seeking to overturn the back.
Point of privilege, Mr. Chairman, please get control of the crowd.
Point of information.
Point of information.
Okay, nobody's arguing whether the meeting shall be held for the purpose of adopting bylaws. Were the bylaws accepted by a 2/3 majority, yes or no?
Is there another one for? I'm going to speak for parliamentarian. Okay.
I would like to speak.
Okay.
Hi, Stephanie. I'm precinct chair for voter box 29, and I am asking each person here to put aside their own agendas and let's come together. This is ridiculous. We are adults and we need to act like it. This man has much more experience than Mr. Ure, although I'm sure that you are a capable person. This man has much more experience for the job that we're voting on. And I agree with Scott Baker that he is neutral. We need some neutral. So I would ask that each of you please think about this and please vote so that we can start to put our Republican Party back together and do our job. Thank you.
Point of inquiry. Point of inquiry.
You speak for or against?
I want to speak against. We can have
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm being quiet.
Yeah, who, the gentleman's name, the parliamentarian that's here, what's your name, sir?
Dennis Clark.
Yeah, who asked Dennis to come today?
Beg pardon?
Who asked Dennis to attend as
I
parliamentarian
did.
today? Okay, thank you.
John Boucher, precinct 35. I'm here to speak against. Mr. Clark has issued a decision already and published it and disseminated it to this group. It doesn't look neutral to me. Mr. Clark has very clearly stated he's not an attorney and he cannot speak to the matter noted above and the legality of adoption of these bylaws. So to say that he is neutral I think is a little disingenuous when we have an opinion being disseminated that is not neutral. Thank you. Never mind.
Okay? Is there another motion for?
I want to speak against.
Okay.
We need to get down to Paul Gabolis, Precinct 4. We need to get down to the basic question. Who is to be the parliamentarian? We are not here to invite parliamentarians to come in and replace a duly elected parliamentarian just because he may be the most experienced parliamentarian in the entire country. That has nothing to do with the question as to who is to be the parliamentarian.
Duly elected is the question.
It's not the question, it's objections to parliamentarian.
It is the question. It's the question.
Parliamentarian Lord has permission to speak. Do you have objection? Is there objection? You object?
What a privilege. I can't understand the speaker. Can you put it up on the mic?
He is assured by. He wants permission to speak to the group. I think we should allow
Any objections, so that we can take a simple vote, yes or no. Ask those in favor to.
Point of order.
Which point of order?
We have a motion on the floor. Another issue is being raised. We need
He's
to
not
stick
would
to
be
the issue.
speaking to the motion.
No, he's not.
The motion is whether or not he should be the parliamentarian.
That's not. No, the motion is, do we agree with you or not? That's the motion.
The issue at hand right now is whether or not the parliamentarian. That's the issue, yes or no. Ask that issue, those in favor of parliamentarian.
I would hope that the group would allow the parliamentarian to speak.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Point of order. Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Robert's Rules of Order is very clear that the parliamentarian should limit himself from engaging at all. I did that in the last CEC meeting. In the last CEC meeting, I said nothing because, as a parliamentarian, you're not supposed to. I can read you the provision from Robert's Rules that deals with the parliamentarian. That's so they can provide counsel to the chair.
Doesn't that include you if you're thinking about it?
And because we're only... May I respond, Mr. Chairman?
No.
Yeah. The member asked me a question. Can I respond?
No.
Folks, I want to try to save y'all a huge amount of time here by making a few. There's a huge elephant in the room.
Point of order. Point of order. Mr. Chairman, this goes exactly to Robert's Rules about the parliamentarian engaging in discussion. I can read you the section from Robert's Rules.
That I'm just as unbiased a person on this issue. You all know that this debate is not so much about whether I sit here as parliamentarians. It goes to the issue of whether the bylaws are adopted on your
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
And
we did not vote on whether or not to allow this man to speak.
Well, that may be the case, but you're going to waste a huge...
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
By doing what you're doing right now.
I raise a point of privilege.
I think if you had...
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
The advice, attorneys,
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. This man's not a member of the executive committee. We've not voted to allow him to speak.
Point of privilege.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. There's a man who's not a member of the executive committee, who's not permitted to speak.
Otherwise, you're doing things that probably aren't very...
Mr. Chairman, point of privilege, point of order, he's out of order, he's not permitted to speak, he's not part of the cabinet.
We've already got that position.
Well, I'm point of privilege as well. Any of this probably is just the point to determine where the majority lies, whether we take the vote, or whether I should just follow the majority vote to make the determination where the majority.
Okay, the chair is going to ask for the vote. And,
What are we voting on?
Yeah,
Whether or not the parliamentary vote is part of the ayes, this part shows the parliamentary or no. The ayes will, no, he won't.
Repeat that, Mr. Chairman. He was not speaking to us.
The point of information is, we're not voting whether or not we agree with Chairman Dr. Waller-Wilson. We are voting on a motion, not whether or not we agree with Dr. Waller. We're agreeing on the motion. The motion is, sir?
the motion is whether or not we agree to see him as a parliamentarian.
So has there been a second to this motion?
There is a second. Okay, we've had adequate debate. Did you want to speak for it?
These folks going to be the precinct chairs that were voted in prior to the vacancy committee of the.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you. If there is any precinct chairs seated here that was elected on August the 7th, you are not permitted to vote on this issue.
I feel the decision of the chair, sir.
Point of order.
Point of privilege, Mr. Chairman.
We're ready for the vote. Are you ready for the vote?
Point of privilege, Mr. Chairman.
What do you want?
The members are not allowed to speak. These members are the only ones allowed to speak at this meeting. They have to be silent. Nobody who's a voting member is not allowed to speak. That is a rule that is in the bylaws. They keep interrupting and cheering for that. That is not permitted. They are not allowed to do that.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
What do you want? Beg pardon?
I have a point of order.
Another one? Okay.
So the motion, the opinions, you said these people should not vote. Is that an opinion or a ruling? So if it's an opinion, we can ignore it. If it's a ruling, we
You're not
can.
going to ignore it because they're appointment is
So just
invalid.
tell us if it's an opinion or a ruling. If it's an opinion, we'll ignore it. If it's a ruling, we'll appeal it. Your choice.
It's a ruling.
Okay, so I appeal the decision of the chair.
Second.
Second.
Point of inquiry. Who gets to vote on this appeal when we put this to a
Shall I explain it or shall I?
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Someone addressing this is not a member of the executive committee. Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Point of order.
Okay, okay.
We have a sergeant of arms that you have in the room.
We have a constable here.
Is that?
So the ruling from the chair is that these people cannot vote on the issue that we're talking about because they were not properly elected.
No, but because their status is in question.
Because their status is in question.
Point of inquiry.
Yes.
I have the floor right now. Can you please sit down?
Yeah.
No, the gentleman behind you.
Go ahead, Scott.
Please sit down. Please sit down.
You don't have to sit there.
I'm waiting to listen to you, Scott. Go ahead.
It's part of actually my point of inquiry. Regardless of which bylaws we're under, there's one person that's presiding over this meeting, and there's several people who seem to have advantage of a microphone over the rest of us. And I'm just curious because even under the bylaws you consider legitimate, he still presides over this meeting, and you gentlemen should not be on this microphone. So my inquiry is, are you presiding over this meeting, or are they presiding over this meeting?
This was a properly called meeting by the chairman of the Republican Party of Montgomery County, and I will preside over the meeting, and I have.
Point of information.
What's your point?
Was the precinct chairs seating this in question sworn in by Judge Mack at a meeting here?
Sworn in?
Yes.
No. No, they were appointed after we swore in everybody.
Point of information.
It's more than people in.
What is it?
Through the years that we've had precincts sworn in at our executive committee meeting, and they've been seated, they've not always been sworn in by Judge Mack.
We have 4 precinct chairs who were not validly seated, and those cannot, those are the ones that can't
Point of
vote in.
information, is that an opinion or a rule?
That's a rule.
We appeal the decision of the chair. Mr. Chairman.
The chair.
We've already appealed this one.
Mr. Chairman, point of inquiry.
They won.
Because Robert says that since their status is in question, they should not be allowed to vote on issue 15 under the Constitution. That's the issue. It's been appealed from. If there's further debate on it, now let's proceed to the vote.
Mr. Chairman, point of inquiry. Right here, Gregory, Mr. Chairman.
Where?
Right here, behind you. My permanent question here is, how can the status of these individuals be in question when Texas Election Code, Section 171.024, specifically says, and I quote, "The county executive committee shall fill by appointment any vacancy on the committee." That's what the election code says. The executive committee met on August 7th. That meeting was called for by petition of over 25% of the precinct chairs. So no matter which bylaws are in effect, that was a valid meeting. So if these individuals were installed per the election code, how is their status in question?
Point of information.
Mr. Chairman.
I'm sorry, I could not hear due to some noise on this side. Would you mind repeating what you said, Rachel?
Sure. My question is because the election code says in section 171.024, the county executive committee shall fill by appointment any vacancy on the committee. The county executive committee met on August 7th by petition of over 25% of the chairs, which is valid under either set of bylaws. So how is their status in question?
Point of information.
In answer to your question is because the bylaws which you refer to were not approved by a 2/3 vote.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, point of information.
I was first, Greg.
No, I have the floor. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
May I ask that they address you, that they stand and address you as Mr. Chairman? Please.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
I would ask that anyone that addresses the chair, please rise and address you as
Oh,
Mr. Chairman.
okay. Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Rise.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. My question is
What a privilege, Mr. Chairman, would you please get control of the crowd behind you?
Or ask them to leave.
Mr. Chairman, if Mr. Chairman.
Please over here, don't make any noise.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Is it correct that in the old bylaws, a meeting could be called by petition of 25% of the membership?
Yes.
The meeting on August 7th was called by over 25% of the membership. So my question is, how is that not a valid meeting?
Because they were elected under bylaws that were not approved about 2/3.
Mr. Chairman?
I'll be quiet over there.
Texas Election Code, section 171.04B. This section is called filling vacancies. B. Providing information. Is this true? B, a majority of the committee's membership must participate in filling a vacancy of the office of county chair to be elected. Each party shall adopt rules to determine vacancy should not be filled before the meeting. I'm sorry, bring my hand. Vacancy for. Thank you. It's in the TEC. It must be a majority of this body, not just a majority of the seat. A majority of this body must be present in order to fill a vacancy.
Let's go. And I'm not sure that the votes are going to really make that much difference, so let's just take the vote with that in mind.
Point of information. We're not bound by the Texas Election Code here in the business of this committee. We are bound by our bylaws. True or false?
By both.
Well, by both. Okay.
There's some things in the Texas Election Code that we have to abide by.
Point of information.
Wait just a minute. Are you first? Ken?
No. It made the statement that we're bound under this section of the Texas Election Code. The Montgomery County bylaws say about 2/3 majority, but then it also says you as chairman we elect you to appoint those vacancies under the council of the vacancy committee. You appoint those. True or false? You propose the candidates for those precinct chairmen, and then we would vote on those and approve that. That's the way we've always done in the past. Has that changed?
Yeah. Really getting nowhere.
Point of information.
What is it?
Was not under the 2016 adopted bylaws a legitimate county executive meeting if it is called by order of the chairman?
I think we've already answered that.
So that meeting was legal under the old bylaws or the new bylaws, whichever way you care to go. That was a legal meeting, and its actions are binding.
Okay. I think we're leaving very hard here. I think we need to go ahead and vote. Okay, the vote will be on whether to allow the 4 people to
No. You know what? Finally, no.
Mr. Chairman, did I get an answer to my question?
No. Let's see if we can point of order here until conference is over, but let's don't wait for it.
Are you calling this meeting, sir?
I think it's time for a vote. So we're going to take a vote on whether we're going to allow the 4 people that were appointed on August 7th to vote.
Point of order.
Okay. And so we're going to vote by standing vote. And we're going to vote.
That's an interrupting. Are you not recognizing me? Are you telling me I can't vote? Are you taking away my right to vote? Are you taking away my right to vote? Is that what you're telling me?
We're voting on that right now, sir.
No, I was elected on the 7th.
I know that.
So you're telling me right now that I'm not. So are you taking away my right to vote?
That's what we're voting on, sir.
You're not answering my question.
What?
Yes or no?
A yes vote would take us vote right. No vote does not.
Okay. The yes vote says these 4 people can vote, and a no vote says they can't.
That's backwards. That's
I'm sorry, I've got it back.
You got it back?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. The yes vote means you can vote, a no vote means you can't. Okay? All right. Well,
Your decision yes. No. No, but I'm clear what that means. Reading the decision, the hearing saying doesn't have the right to vote.
a yes vote means that you approve with the ruling of the chair that they can't vote. A no vote means they can.
Point of order.
Yes, Martin.
Will you please answer the question that Paul had? Do you agree that was submitted to you before the August 7th meeting? Was that, since it was a legitimately petition meeting, and you knew about it, was that a legitimate meeting or not? Please state yes or no.
It depends on what set of bylaws you use. Okay. We're going to vote. We're just wasting a lot of time.
I have a point of inquiry. I apologize, I have the wrong section for it. Section 171003, filling vacancy. The state executive committee, yada, yada, yada. Section B is what's important here. A majority of the committee's membership, that's us, a majority of the committee's membership, that means the entire membership, constitutes a quorum for the purpose of filling a vacancy. To be elected, the person must receive a favorable vote of a majority of the members voting. So my question, my inquiry is, was there a majority of the entire membership of the CEC present at that meeting?
Yes, there was.
Based on what? Is there a roll?
How many was it?
Mr. Chairman, parliamentary inquiry.
How many were there?
Mr. Chairman, inquiry.
Okay, very good
How many were there?
Mr.
So
Chairman,
who's running the meeting?
I'd like to get a question answered. if I could.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. Parliamentary inquiry. Don't, Rachel, don't. Mr. Chairman.
All I want to know is how many people.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, point of order.
There were 40 people present.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
We have 83 people presently sitting election judge chair. So, no, there wasn't a majority there.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Point of order. Point of order. Mr. Chairman.
I hear you. Go ahead.
The section that Mr. Baker quoted only applies to filling vacancies in county chairs, where it says you have to have a majority of the whole body. And the section that's relevant to filling precinct chair vacancies is actually section 171.024, and in subsection C, it says each party shall adopt rules to determine a percentage of committee membership that constitutes a quorum for purposes of filling a vacancy in the office of precinct chair. To be elected, a person must receive a favorable majority of the members voting. As for precinct chairs, the statute Mr. Baker quoted is for county chairs.
Point of order. Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
It's the last point of order. What is it?
Do you agree or do you not agree that it was a legitimate meeting that was held on August the 7th?
I would say no.
Is that your official?
Yes, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. Okay, we're ready for the vote. We're ready for the vote. Yes?
Mr. Clark, have you been voted in yet as parliamentarian?
You can't even get there.
We have to go back 3 points of order.
We haven't even gotten around to that.
Okay,
We'll have to
so
go back
I'd like
to
to
3
ask
points
something.
of order
If
before we
this
get
gentleman right here, it seems to me, he's given total advice, it seems rigged to me, that's what it looks like. Why doesn't he come sit down here until there has been a true vote? Why doesn't he just on down to the rest of us that sit here right beside him, talking to his ear the whole time. It doesn't seem proper, it doesn't seem right, it doesn't seem fair.
I'll ask you to speak in the mic.
Somebody needs to calm down.
Okay. Okay. Now, we're ready for a vote. A yes vote means they would not be allowed to vote. A no vote would mean they can vote. Okay? You understand what we're voting for? Okay? Yeah. A yes vote means we're not allowing them to vote. A no vote means they can. Okay?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
By RP2 Rule 7, Section 5, a roll call vote can be taken and demanded by writing by 1/5 of the members of the committee. I have more than 1/5. So this is going to be a roll call vote.
Mr. Chairman, is that your ruling? Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, point of order. Point of order. Mr. Chairman.
Point of order.
Point of order.
What's your point of order?
Is that your ruling that these four?
Please call the roll.
I move to appeal the decision of the chair.
Call the roll.
Call the roll.
No, Mr. Chairman, my point of order. Mr. Chairman, my point of order was.
If you haven't called the roll.
Mr. Chairman, my point of order is whether or not the four individuals who are in question are going to be allowed to vote on whether or not they're allowed to vote.
Okay. The secretary will call the roll. You understand what a yes vote is? The yes vote means that the four cannot vote in this process. A no vote means they can. You got it? No? You don't understand? You got it? Okay. Okay. You're done, you don't get tired. Okay, we're ready for the
Precinct 1, Judge Baker. How do you vote for or against?
No. Precinct 1?
No. Precinct 2, Marilyn Collis.
Precinct 3.
I'm sorry, Precinct 3, Marilyn Collis.
No.
Precinct 4, Paul Gabolis.
No.
Precinct 5, Linda Taliaferro. Precinct 6, Landon Este. Precinct 7, David Burka.
No.
Precinct 8, Bill Kercheval.
No.
Precinct 9, Quentin Smith.
No.
Precinct 10,
No.
Mark Allen Frank. Precinct 10, Mark Frank.
No. No. No.
Precinct 11, Marlise Stripling. Precinct 12, Karen Zeller. Precinct 13, Brian Trumby.
No.
Precinct 14, Amber Shillen. No. Precinct 15, Gary Reynolds.
Yes.
Precinct 16, Walter West.
No.
Precinct 17, Samuel Allison.
No.
Precinct 18, John O'Dare.
No.
Precinct 19, Lonnie Clever.
Yes.
Precinct 20, Moline Beasley. Precinct 20?
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yes. Yes, she said yes.
Precinct 21, Alan Moore.
Yes.
Precinct 22, Pat Fulham.
Yes.
Precinct 23, Scott Baker.
Yes.
Precinct 24, James Byers.
No.
Precinct 25, Bill Katie. Precinct, no, for 25. Precinct 27, Dale Inman.
No.
Precinct 28, Daniel Ure.
No.
Precinct 29, Linda Stuckey.
Yes.
Precinct 30, Guy Stripling.
No.
I'm sorry?
No.
No. Precinct 31, Betty Anderson.
No.
Precinct 32, Amy Van Horn.
Yes.
Precinct 33, Scott Robbins.
No.
Precinct 34, Brian Arsenault. Precinct 34. Precinct 35, John Boucher.
No.
Precinct 36, Sam Littleton.
Yes.
Precinct 38, Charlie Pareda.
Yes.
Precinct 39, John Schaefer. Precinct 39. Precinct 40, Henry Daniels.
No.
Precinct 41, Jerry Guyan. Precinct 41. Precinct 42, Bill Filbert.
No.
Precinct 43, Marlene Tahita. Precinct 43. Precinct 44, Mindy Lee Mack.
Yes.
Precinct 46, Yvonne Wunschie. Precinct 46. Precinct 47, Mary Ford.
Yes.
Precinct 48, Tom Hughes.
Yes.
Precinct 49, Orville Jolly.
No.
Precinct 50, Reagan Reed.
No.
Precinct 51, John Barton.
No.
Precinct 52, Wayne Pearson.
No.
Precinct 54, Gene Williams.
Yes.
Precinct 55, Sandra Mobley.
Yes.
Precinct 56, Jim Doyle.
No.
Precinct 57, Ashley Burke.
No.
Precinct 58, Lana Haslett.
Yes.
Precinct 59, Allison Winter.
No.
Precinct 60, Andy Nedrow.
No.
Precinct 61, Becky Feaster.
Yes.
Precinct 62, KT Jackson. 62. Precinct 63, Julie Fauble.
Yes.
Precinct 64, Darlene Barnett.
Yes.
Precinct 65, Johnny Bryant.
Yes.
Precinct 66, Adrian Kaiser.
No.
Precinct 67, Kathy Ross.
No.
Precinct 68, Robert Casey.
Yes.
Precinct 69, John Wertz.
No.
Precinct 7, Jack Haney. Precinct 70. Precinct 71, Brad Spratt. Precinct 72, Ann Kate.
Yes.
Precinct 74, Ginger Russell.
No.
Precinct 75, Larry Rogers.
No.
Precinct 76, Curtis Luker. Precinct 76. Precinct 77, Carol Parsons.
Yes.
Precinct 78, Keith Wagner. Precinct 78. Precinct 79, Mark Wilkerson.
Yes.
Precinct 80, Lane Carroll.
Yes.
Precinct 81, Sandra Gersman.
No.
Precinct 82, Jody Renovar.
Yes.
Precinct 83, Patricia Carr.
No.
Precinct 84, Tapley Lynn.
No.
Precinct 85, myself. No. Precinct 86, Jenny Stevenson.
No.
Precinct 88, Frederick Sunderman. Precinct 88. Precinct 89, James Gilbert.
Yes.
Precinct 90, Russ Shute.
No.
Precinct 91, Marcus Woodridge.
No.
Precinct 92, Paul Coe.
Yes.
Precinct 94, Mary Lewis.
No.
Precinct 95, Scott Green.
96. No.
I'm sorry, Precinct 96, no. That's the end of the roll call vote.
Point of information, were any of those that just voted people that were elected on the August 7th meeting?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
James Grossman voted.
I thought that we had decided that.
Like it's 44 to 29, I may be off. I don't think they voted. Huh?
There were 44 noes and 29 yeses. If you do not count the 4 that were the chair ruled could not vote, it's 40 to 29. 44 against, 29 for. 44. 44.
No.
44 against.
The decision that the chair's ruling is overturned, and so they will be allowed to vote. Okay? So. Okay, we have one more vote, and that is the ruling on appointing the parliamentarian as a parliamentarian of the meeting. And we've already had the discussion, and any more anybody else would like to speak for or against appointing the parliamentarian?
Yes.
Yeah.
This parliamentarian is only for this evening, is that correct? We're not electing him.
Coming back for more, Dennis? There he is. We all need him.
Did that answer your question?
What I'm asking is, he is not replacing Daniel for the rest of the meetings. It's only for tonight, isn't that correct?
That's correct.
So, if he's voted down, then he leaves. I mean, we have arranged as a parliamentarian, and we're going to ask him to leave in place of the lawyer who like, no offense, Daniel. I mean, this is about parliamentary procedure too, so I'd rather have an expert, but I just wanted to know if it's only for this evening.
He's only here for one evening because I thought that this would be the best for everybody, but have someone who's personally trained and certified as a parliamentarian. Not saying anything about Mr. Uri, but I just thought that this was in our best interest. If the group thinks that that's not okay, then okay, that's the way it'll be. So, questions been called, and shall we have a standing vote? Yeah.
shall we explain what a yea vote and nay vote means?
Yes vote would be for you. A yes vote means he will serve, a no vote means he won't.
That's correct.
You understand? A yes means that we would retain his skills as a parliamentarian. A no vote means we will not. You understand what the vote is? Okay?
So yes vote means we use him as a parliamentarian chairman.
I beg your pardon?
As a point of information, so yes vote means we use him as a parliamentarian for tonight, and no vote means
A yes vote means that he will be the parliamentarian for this meeting. No vote means he goes home.
all for the
Quiet, please.
Chairman, and is it a majority vote or a 2/3 vote?
Majority vote.
Majority vote. Okay. And is it a roll call vote?
Not necessarily.
Can I call for a roll call vote?
Anybody?
I call for a roll call vote, Chairman.
Is there an objection to having a roll call vote?
Yeah.
All those in favor?
We haven't had a second on that motion yet.
No discussion, no second, and no.
All those in favor of having a roll call vote, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? No. Okay. So
What's the results?
we're going to have a standing vote. We're not going to have a roll call vote, we have a standing vote. Okay. All those that are for retaining Mr. Clark as our parliamentarian, please stand. And, okay.
Nays have it.
I counted 31.
31, what?
31. Yes, 31. To retain the parliamentarian. 31. We didn't have a no.
Okay.
Nice try.
I'm done, yeah. Okay, all right.
Boxes of popsicles, some macaroni and cheese. Well, no, if I do all my shopping for
Jim, sit down there.
Vote was 41, no, and 31 yes.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I thought we just voted.
Beg your pardon?
Thought we just voted.
Mr. Chairman. I move to adjourn the meeting, or vote to adjourn the meeting.
The motion is a meeting adjourned. Is there a second? All in favor of adjourning, please stand.
I'm sorry, what was the vote? Sir? All those in favor of adjourning, please stand again. Okay. All opposed? The noes have
They didn't follow one on that one. I didn't know.
Okay. According to the agenda, we'll have reports from our SREC members, and we ask you to be brief.
Still, we were right. We had an issue over the agenda. We never resolved it, so we can't continue with the agenda. We need to resolve which agenda we're going to use. We need to resolve. My point of order is we don't have an agenda yet. We don't have an agreed upon agenda. That's my point of order. Does he make motion?
Mr. Chairman, earlier tonight it was pointed out that a petition was held for the August 7th meeting. You, as the county chair, did not call that meeting, so therefore that meeting was out of order.
Both sets of bylaws, 25%.
No, Mr. Chairman.
No, 25% or more.
Let's see if it's a fair vote.
Chairman, point of personal privilege. I'd like to thank the parliamentarian for offering his services.
Okay, we need a motion about approving the agenda.
So I move that we approve the agenda set up by staff.
What?
So I move that we approve this.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
No.
Ayes have it.
Always lost control of this party.
The minutes have been printed, circulated. Are there any questions?
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. Behind you. We're talking about the minutes from the meeting on the 7th, correct?
What?
From the meeting on the 7th.
Yes. So reading off the agenda, we approve.
Yeah. Okay. Minutes on the 7th.
Are there any objections? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. SREC report.
No report.
No report.
No report.
No report. Okay, Mr. Ward?
I have a report.
You going to say something?
We have it as our secretary.
SRC has a
Oh,
report.
I'm sorry. Mr. Gordon?
Allison Winter, Precinct 59, and SRC Committee Woman. Can you understand me? I was going to report that at our special meeting in August, we had, as you remember, there was an allegation at the convention of mishandling of monies at RPT. The auditors submitted a preliminary report, and the only discrepancy they found was $1.20. They normally don't report such small amounts, but because it was a special, very thorough audit, they generally report immaterial amounts like that. The final report will come out in September at our meeting, September 21st and 22nd, and then we'll be able to give you a final update on what that report showed. But thus far, it seems that everything is in order. I also wanted to report that I am on the Candidate Resource Committee, as Judy is too, and we are collecting funds. If anyone would like to help the lower ballot candidates, these are like the judges and commissioners and people like that apply for help all across Texas. This can help a lot of people. It can be a very small amount. It can be $5, $10, $20, whatever you feel led to give. And I have envelopes tonight if anybody would like those. We've already made a couple of disbursements, and I think that the candidates are very, very happy about that. So we are happy to hand you one of these if you'd like to see me after the meeting. And I just want to say one final thing. At the special meeting in August, I heard a lot about precinct chairs. So it's kind of exciting because I've always felt like I was very into my precinct chair duties. But I realized walking away from that meeting, I kept hearing about precinct chairs and how important their job is. And so I just want to impart that to y'all, that it's the smallest position in the Republican Party, but it's a really important one to get the vote out. And that's what I'm hoping we'll all coalesce together and get the vote out this fall. Thank you.
Mr. Ward, your name's on here. You got a report?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. Dr. Wilkerson has not provided access to bank accounts, which is customary in a transition, as what happened on June 26th with the new bylaws. End of my report, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Okay. He failed to pay you. He spent 8 hours, roughly 8 hours in the headquarters, looking over all the books, deposits, and checks, and everything. So I don't know exactly what his complaint is, except that the question here is, and will be, until we resolve it, which bylaws are we operating under? And until we solve that problem, our party is not going to be anything but divided. And when I was presented with these set of bylaws that were adopted only by a majority vote, I predicted it would be the most divisive thing that our party has experienced in my career as chairman. That's really sad that that has happened. But there were ways to prevent that, and I've asked, let's try amending our present bylaws that would be agreeable to 2/3 of the vote of the executive committee. And that was not done. And right now, each side has their own proof of whether or not their bylaws are legal. I've consulted attorneys, parliamentarians, and anybody that has had that experience knows it takes a 2/3 vote. Now, having said that, even though we're not going to do anything tonight that would go forward in doing this thing that I think is important, I'm going to recommend to this group that we appoint a committee to go over our bylaws, both sets, and study them carefully, and come back to the Rules Committee with a presentation of which of the use said about. And on this committee, I'm going to appoint 3 members from the group.
Point of order. Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, is this on the agenda? Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
This committee will be made up of 3 people.
Point of order.
Mr. Chairman.
Point of order, Mr.
I have an authority to appoint a committee.
Is this on
County
Is this on the
Chairman,
agenda?
I have an authority.
Not on the agenda, sir.
And I am hereby appointing a committee to study
Appeal
the
the decision
bylaws.
of the chair, sir.
And that committee will be made up of Don Baker,
Appeal the
Susan
decision of the chair,
Johnson,
sir.
Adrian Kaiser, Charlie Pareda, Catherine Ross, and Walter Webb. I'd like for this
Mr. Chairman,
to
Mr.
meet
Chairman, is
and
this
to go
on the
bylaws
agenda that was adopted?
and be able to solve this problem.
Point of order,
Until
Mr.
we
Chairman.
do that, this party will not be unified. And that is
Decision of the
important.
chair, sir.
Second.
The other thing is that I have it on authority that I'm able to appoint 40% of the committee.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Point of order, sir.
Your point of order is taken and is out.
Is that an opinion or is that a rule, Mr. Chairman?
Point of information.
I feel the decision of the chair.
Point of information.
Mr. Chairman, I call for the order of the day is to get back to the agenda, which is the treasurer's report. And the Victory Committee.
Adjourn the meeting.
Mr. Sergeant, I'm getting out of work.
I'm leaving.
Hey, Sandra? Sandra, if you give me your phone number, I can text message you. If you give me your phone number, I can send you text message.
Members. Let's come to order, please. It would appear that the chairman has abandoned the chair this meeting. And according to the bylaws, they state that the vice chair preside over the meeting if the chairman has abandoned his position as chair during the meeting. And so, with regret, big regret, I will now preside over this meeting so we can finish conducting business and hear from the Victory Committee. And it pains me to say that, but that's what things we come to. So, order please. Let's come to order. We have more business to conduct. All right, so next on the agenda, we have the 2018 Victory Committee report. And I think it's good that we have this about this time because the Victory Committee is something that we can really unify behind as a party and get behind their effort. Their sole job is to get more results like this. And to give that report, this committee has been working incredibly hard, and we shall be very thankful for the work we've done. Let's have Dale Inman, Precinct 27, the chairman of our Victory Committee, to give us a report on that.
emotions in the room, and I'm going to get straight to the report. I want to get our candidates elected. That's my focus, okay? If you want to join... Oh, I'm sorry.
Microphone, please.
Sorry, how's that work?
Better.
Our goal here is to get our candidates to have opposition, specifically Democrat opposition, elected. On this brochure, we put a brochure. There's going to be some changes to it, I suspect. I think everyone may have one. If not, we can try to get you one, or you can pass this one around.
Extra copies?
Yeah, I think we have about 2,500 extra copies.
Where are they?
A lot of the candidates have already asked for them. They've contacted us. For example, Matt Beasley last night, other candidates said, can I get them? I want my people pushing this when they walk. So we're going to have to do a second printing. Mr. Vice Chair, am I here or do I take it?
This side.
I really don't mind at the moment. You know, we'll be open. We want every Republican involved in getting our candidates elected. We have seems to be, we had a whistle stop a week ago. We tried to get as quickly as possible to that whistle stop. So that means that there may be some changes. We try to get some non-controversial national, state, local issues so that the candidates, if they have little nuances in their position, wouldn't box them into a corner. So we're trying to be very open and focus on getting our Republican candidates elected. I got a couple calls, and just when some people were leaving, they seem to be upset. Why is Ted Cruz and Kevin Brady not on here? We contacted their campaigns and said, because you're federal and this is a state PAC, we are not allowed to have you on there. Before we set it up, we called them and let them know we're a state PAC. We can legally not have you on this push card. Maybe in a future one, if we file federal, we can. If we get more funds, we'd be happy to do that. Senator Nichols, I think one of our precinct chairs was saying, how come Nichols isn't it? Why isn't Nichols? I contacted Leland Hancock, which is his secretary there, administrative assistant, several weeks ago, asked for a picture. Do you want me to get one off the internet? No, I want to send you one. We never got one. I called her again a week ago, maybe 10 days, 2 weeks, and we really, really would like a picture. If you want us, I can get one, or if you want to send me a specific one, we'll wait. But we got to go to press. We just can't wait any longer. I never got the picture. Also, he has a libertarian candidate opponent, not a Democrat. So we had to make decisions on...
Ms. Raymond, hold on just a second. Can the Sergeant at Arms please make sure the doors are shut and clear out the noise in the foyer so we can all hear? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And so if you have questions about why isn't Senator Nichols on there, that's why. We asked for a picture. They said they were going to send us one. They never did. Asked again. Physically never got one. And of course, then I explained the federal with Kevin, Senator Chairman Brady, and Senator Cruz. So that's explained. I'm sorry?
Congressman.
Oh, Congressman. What did I say? Oh, well, Chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee. Congressman Brady. There's some numbers floating around. Here's what alarms me as a Republican, and many like you have children, maybe grandchildren. We grew up in a very comfortable environment, in a very comfortable county. When I look at these numbers from 14, 16, and 18, the Democratic voting strength has gone from 5% in 2014, to 12.3% in 2016, to 16.6% in 2018. They're doubling and tripling every 2 years. Now at 16%, if they triple in 3 years, what is that? 48%. So when I hear a lot of, we're winning, we're winning, we're winning, no, we're not. We're losing. When those numbers are doing this, we have got to do something different than business as usual. We can't keep not doing anything. I don't know when, as anyone would like to elaborate, I don't think we've had a victory campaign in 20 years. This is the first one we've done, I think, in 20 years. We've never done this before. Other counties say, you've never done one? Never. Not in 20 years that I'm aware of anybody. So we came down to the conclusion we had to do something different when these are historical numbers of 5, 12.5, 16.6 growth. We all know it. I was down at Alden Bridge the other day. 6 to 7 veto signs for every 1 Cruz sign. You can drive neighborhoods and look at it, and it is overwhelming the activity on the other side. I went to the Democratic headquarters 2 or 3 times. I went in and talked to 5 ladies one day. They were a machine. I was just kind of looking around, trying to gather information, what they're doing, what their plans are. Explained who I was, Precinct Chair 27, Republican Party. Saw your operation, want to come by, introduce myself. They never stopped mailing, stuffing, folders, veto, veto, veto. I even tried to stop them for a little bit. They said, we're going to talk, we're going to keep working. And I thought, okay. I went by our headquarters, it was locked up and closed. We can't do that when they're that active and that motivated and that energetic. We have to do something different than what we're doing. We may argue on what we're doing, which we're doing that here. But the fact is we can't keep doing what we've been doing. The status quo was not working at all. And some of the candidates, like I said, they've contacted me saying we need some of these because we're not getting help. Well, what do you mean you're not getting help? What is the purpose of this party in Montgomery County? We have a name and we have a purpose. Our purpose is to advance our platform and to elect Republican candidates. When's the last time we've argued over those issues? We've argued over everything but. So again, my focus, I don't care if you're a chamber Republican, a Tea Party Republican, a grassroots, an establishment, a country club, a golf club, gated community Republican, I don't care. If you're going to vote R in November, we want your help. We want you to help time, donate money. We need help. It's too big a county with too many people for a handful to do it. So that's kind of in general in what's driving me on this victory campaign from my perspective, what's driving me in this area. We have been pretty successful. Like I said, we've got these, everyone has received these extremely well. The whistle stop, people were asking for them. Like I said, candidates have contacted us. How do we get more of those? What can we do? My position, my belief, and I know some of us might be saying, well, tell the candidates to give us money. And I know historically that's what's been done. My philosophy is the party should be supporting the candidates, not the candidates supporting the party. And historically, for 20 years, it's been, oh, we need money, call Congressman Brady, call candidates and ask for money. The money should be flowing that way, not this way. That's what our goal is, advance our platform, elect our candidates. We should be helping them, not going to them saying, will you help us? And sadly, folks, and I would encourage you to call some of their campaigns and ask them, how instrumental was this party in getting you elected in your last cycle? Tell me the truth. What I'm hearing, very little. Very little help. We've got professionals out there doing stuff. We're paying block walkers. We're getting t-shirts. We're spending all this money on professional people. We have this whole party, and we get very little help. Folks, that has to change. It really does. So, having said all that, that's kind of my philosophy and what's driving me in this area. We've got some good news. I would encourage all of you, if you, is anyone still on Facebook? Yeah. We've got a Facebook presence. I think we put it up a day or two ago. It's got, I think, 100-ish likes on it already. It's 2018 MCRP Victory Committee. 2018 MCRP Victory Committee. We'd encourage you to go there. There's information there. We're setting up block walking teams. We're trying to get with, I did find out we can ask candidates information. We're not supposed to necessarily directly coordinate with them too tightly, but we ask for information. Which precincts were you strong in? Which precincts were you weak in? There are strong precincts. I've got several campaigns that said we're going to give you the precincts we're strong in. We want to walk those. We've got some red t-shirts that we're working with a vendor on, getting some really nice cotton, thick red t-shirts. Keep Montgomery County red. We're working on the language, the verbiage there. On the back, maybe a big elephant. Again, we're working on some stuff. But wouldn't it be great if we had 20, 30 people in a precinct walking with like same shirts, with a high-quality brochure, going door to door. I contacted Rachel Edwards and Christian Collins today about getting some cruise signs. I'm not sure why Ted Cruz is selling them. He's not giving them out. He's saying we're selling them. Yes, sir?
Actually, Ted Cruz's Rooms campaign people said that they were delivering 2,000 over to the Montgomery County party's office.
Good.
Within a week or two.
Perfect. I sent a message to Rachel Edwards, his person here, and said, while we're out block walking, we went elite, and you know the goal, just so everyone knows, the goal is pushing Cruz. This is our last time that we can vote straight ticket Republican. So if we get Ted Cruz pushed hard, all of this should just fall into place. Our last time to vote straight Republican in Texas is this November. Starting next year, you can't vote straight Republican. So we're leading with Cruz. We want to go door to door, stick yard signs out, push our candidates. Hey, here's the slate that's with Ted Cruz. Go in, vote, pull the lever for Republican, and hopefully we elect all these candidates. So we've got the push cards, we've got t-shirts, we've got block walking. We may need some help there. I think, I'm not sure who it was the other day, someone said an excellent idea. I think it was the Sage O'Sullivan, is he here? About maybe even going in groups with like a car, 1 or 2 people could drive, just take turns, because it's brutal hot. If you've been out block walking, you know it's untenable at the moment. But we're I think 68 days away. We really can't wait. We really can't. So we've got the Facebook Presence 2018 MCRP Victory Committee. I understand that I think as Mr. Brenza, you have several candidate 3-minute videos already.
Yes.
We're loading up. Mr. Brenza here has got with some of the candidates, put some 3-minute videos together. They can click on it, hear the candidates speak directly to them as a voter. We've already got some of those finished. Fundraiser ideas, suggestions, and get out the vote. I'm not saying this stuff we're going to do. I'm saying this stuff has already happened. Push cards have been pushed. You know, blocks have been walked. T-shirts have been ordered. So we're not saying, let's do something. We're saying, here's what we've done. That's my report tonight, is here's what's been accomplished already. I would like that when we meet next time, we have some fantastic stories and some more accomplishment. So that's my report, Mr. Chair, Mr. Gabolis, please. Yes, sir.
Point of personal privilege again. I totally agree with everything you said that we're doing and moving forward and things we need to do. I must take exception to the statement I've heard from a couple of people that we have not had a get out the vote campaign in 20 years. I was there when we approved budgets. Now, methods we use, some of them are getting out of date. Phoning doesn't work as well. We do need to update what we're doing, but the statement that we have not had a get out the vote campaign in 20 years, I must take an exception.
Okay, I said victory campaign. Now, maybe I misspoke, but I thought I said we haven't had a victory campaign. We haven't made this exciting. I've been saying for 2 or 3 years now, let's get the grand old party to be a party again. This was not fun tonight. Yeah. This is not fun. The GOP, it's grand old party. We should come excited, pumped up, energized, mobilized, and we're not.
Point of information.
Mr. Nedra?
Just to be aware, I have information that Democrats are calling people that have said that funds don't work as well. They are calling, they are reaching out to people that are registered or have voted Republican their entire life. We need to have some voice, as you're saying. It is pale. If we need to get a phone bank, we need to get a phone bank. But the Democrats are doing that, and they are soliciting.
Yeah. I think we do have a system for contacting via texting. Is that correct, Mr. Boucher?
That's correct. The website is the MCGOP online website.
MCGOP online.
Has all that, and we are auto texting. Like you're getting your veto text, you're also getting your Republican text now. So we are modernizing.
It's not online.
I'm sorry?
MCGOP.online.
MCGOP.online is the website.
Mr. Brenza.
What kind of,
Thank you, Mr. Brenza. Yes, sir,
what
Mr.
kind
Tate?
of a system do we have to get phone numbers? We're gonna have a phone bank, and it's kind of hard to find phone numbers or cell phones. I don't know how you do that.
Some of that is
You
part
look
of
them
the
up in the book, we don't even have phone numbers.
It's part of the vote.
Yeah, we're working on getting voter database. Part of it, here we're 68 days away, and this stuff that should have been done 3 and 4 and 5 months ago, it hasn't been. So it's really to the point of anyone that wants to stand up and throw water on the fire, help, because the building's burning. Mr. Chair, I would like to hear from somebody here. We're bringing those.
Real quick.
Is that okay, sir? May I have your? Yes, ma'am.
I'm just curious, do we have access to the Advantage app or no?
We do. My experience with more of gathering information for Reg Abbott, there's some tweaks we can get there to pull information for us. Anyone else that know about the Advantage? I have it on my phone, and I have access to it, but I haven't really gone through the tutorials and seen it. Mr. Bagley?
I used it on my campaign, and it's great.
Perfect. Miss Winters?
Yes, I'd like to comment to that.
Wait, sir.
That's okay. Republican
Let's put this
Party
on.
of Texas
Stand
wants
up.
any.
Stand up. Stand up.
Okay. Republican Party of Texas wants any activist to have access to it. So if we can set up a training session. If some of y'all want to get trained on Advantage, you can use your cell phone or you can use your iPad, but it's available to anybody who's working for the Republican Party of Texas.
And I understand it's been available for 6 or 7 years, and I just heard about it 8 months ago. And when I called Advantage, they said, well, you should have it. I said, oh, I'm a precinct chair, I don't. Well, why don't you have it? And I don't want to get into that. I want to keep this positive and upbeat. We have it now, so that's history, that's bad. Looking forward. Let's look forward on this. Mr. Katie?
When I was helping out the Duke Park campaign, they provided me with something that was called a ground game. What is the ground game as compared to the Advantage app? Ground game gave me, they put my whole precinct and listed it, and they gave me that particular area. So I had my entire precinct. And then when I wanted to expand to another area, they
uploaded some other area to my particular login. So I don't know what Advantage app is, because I've been playing with the ground game.
Okay.
Where do we get it?
What?
I think you're supposed to be able to Advantage app. You should be able, if you're a precinct chair, you should be able to go to party headquarters. And I'm sure, I suspect they would give it out. Here's what they don't want. They don't want to get all this information and have a Democrat walk in and say, hi, I'm a Republican, give me passwords. That's why when people say, why are they just giving out willy-nilly? Yes, I still use willy-nilly. And I still use good gravy. I'm the last one left. But good gravy is wrong. But they don't want. They want to know who it is they're giving it to. They want to just say, here, Democrat, here's all this information we've gathered and spent millions of dollars getting. That's why they're a little. But if you're a precinct chair, you should be able to walk into party headquarters. I'm a precinct chair. I would like the state said you should get that like that. That shouldn't even be a question. I don't know why we've been pulling teeth on that.
I would like to know how many people in this room are willing to walk houses with us and do that.
Oh, that's a good group. That's a fantastic group. And those that are able to walk, would you be able to pray or give us more wishes or? Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Oh, I know.
I don't know. Last night I went to a Republican women's group where we talked about the Advantage app, and there's on Thursday, August 30th, at Montgomery County headquarters, there's an Abbott University on how to use the app, and I'm signed up for it. I don't know how you sign up, other than I signed up last night, but that is.
Yeah, I think there's a tutorial on the app itself as well.
Right.
And then we're going to ask if you're willing, or now or as the night progresses, or we could maybe pass this if you don't want to walk up. Some people might not want to walk up. But if we'll pass, if you put your name and contact info, an email or a phone number, so because we are wanting to form teams. This isn't something we want to talk about tonight. Who's willing? In 2 weeks from today, how many names you have? Well, none. I'm more of a pragmatist. Let's do it now while we're here. Yeah. Let's get the names and stuff moving. So do you want to? Does anyone want to walk up, or do you want us to pass the book real quick?
Pass it. Just pass it.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. It'd be better to pass it.
If y'all could sign up on that, and obviously y'all can go in more in depth when they have the next Victory Committee meeting.
Was there a question over there? Mr. Gobolis, what are you saying?
I thought the gentleman standing by the screen had a question.
Did you have a question, sir?
No, I had a comment. There
okay.
was one of you had mentioned that the Democrats are protecting people. I can confirm that. I haven't voted Democrat my entire life, and I got so many texts for a vote for Beto that I literally had to tell the person to stop me or I was going to take them to the police for harassment. That was the only thing that got him to stop. I'm a loser. I don't have a life. I got so many texts I thought I was the most popular guy in my life for months. Well, this was after I was a delegate to the convention. So
what's your number? I'll add you to our list.
And Mr. Frank had an observation?
Do you want a little more explanation on what?
30 seconds or less. Sure.
Okay. Advantage app is a comprehensive database that uses mapping skills and different statistics to verify and identify exactly who the Republicans are and exactly where they live. A lot like Mr. Phil was saying, it works a lot like that app. You're going to tell it this is, I preside precinct 10, I can get exactly precinct 10, I can tell you whose house is voted Republican, who doesn't. There are some questions there that you can add more as a conversation piece to give them a little more information for that app because they're going to continue to collect it. But if I wanted to cross the street and go harass Dale in his fun-filled neighborhood, all I need to do is tell them, hey guys, I need it for this precinct. They'll upload it like that. It takes all of 3 seconds to open the app, and you're ready to go and start knocking doors. It's not a hard process.
And it's live info. When he does that day and loads it into his device, I think they download it at night and they redo it the next morning. So when you log in the next morning, all that data collected that day will be new again. You'll know who's there. If someone moved, if someone's moved in, so the family they're moved out, you can change all that data in the system, and it'll correct all of it time at the same time. Okay. We're going to wrap up. The last thing to say on this brochure, I'm going to say it's through our planning, or it was just dumb blind luck, but I like to say it was our planning. We have a perfect spot right here that Ms. Cook came with this excellent idea. We can print labels, and you can put your name if you're a precinct chair, put your name, your precinct, your email or phone number you're comfortable with. So when you hand these out, they'll also know as you're walking your precinct who their precinct chair is. And those little Avery labels fit perfectly right here in this dumb blind luck spot. But I'm going to say keep playing. If there's no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap that up.
Can y'all give them a round of applause for this? All right, y'all, we have one more item on the agenda here, and that is new business. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to go home, so we can make this quick. Is there any new?
Yes, Mr. Vice Chair. The chairman, before he vacated, ruled bylaws on June 26 were invalid.
Discussion. For or against? Do you want to do a standing vote, I guess, for this, or a voice vote? Standing. All right, let's do standing. Those, yes, sir.
I didn't understand everything. Can you read again?
Yes, sir. Okay, the chairman, before he vacated, ruled the bylaws on June 26 were invalid. I move to appeal the decision of the chair.
Yes, sir, Mr. Allison.
Is that motion in order given that how far after this?
Motion is in order, yes, sir. Welcome, Mr. Sutterman.
Sorry, I don't know you.
Came just in time. All right, so to clarify what the question is before us, Mr. Wertz's motion is to appeal Dr. Wally's ruling that the bylaws are invalid. So a vote yes will be a vote that the bylaws, the new bylaws adopted on the 26th. A vote yes is that those are the valid, legally adopted bylaws. Because if you vote,
it's to uphold the chair's ruling.
okay. See, this is why we have this guy here. Doing a great job. Okay, so I stand corrected. So a vote yes is a vote that the bylaws adopted on the 26th were invalid. A vote no is a vote that the bylaws adopted on the 26th are valid. So a vote yes says the bylaws on the 26th were not valid. A vote no says, hold on. A vote no says the bylaws are valid. Yes, sir, Mr. Kaiser.
Isn't his motion to overrule the chair that they were invalid, correct? So wouldn't we have to appeal the decision of the chair? That's what he appealed the decision. I was confused what was he appealed the decision.
Welcome to the club. Mr. Frank.
Now, just to make sure, because I've been trying to pay very close attention tonight, the thing we're discussing right now, the repeal, that was in fact the thing Wally stood right there and said on, actually, you asked twice, Paul asked 3 times. He said it was his opinion. He said that's an opinion, not a ruling, so technically we can't repeal it, can we?
No, his opinion was that the meeting on the 7th was invalid.
Okay.
His ruling, and he stated his ruling many times actually in emails, and I'm sure you've all gotten them, and at the meeting, by him declaring the bylaws invalid, that is a ruling. All right, so does everyone understand the question? Does everyone understand what a yes vote means? I want to know what it means.
One more time. One more time.
A yes vote means the bylaws adopted on the 26th are invalid. A no vote means that the bylaws adopted on the 26th are valid. Everyone got it? Those in favor, by standing vote. Those in favor, please rise. Sergeant Arms will count you. 1. Those in favor, we're count 1. Okay. Those opposed. Oh, yeah. 39? 39? I'm as presiding officer, I'm not voting. As parliamentarian, he's not voting. Is it 39? All right, the noes have it 39-1. Your decision to appeal the ruling of the chair passes. Any other new business? We can get out of here. Mr. Boucher.
I'd like to appeal the decision of the chairman to create a committee regarding the bylaws.
The decision to appoint that committee was already out of order and contrary to the bylaws.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Mrs. Russell.
I just have a, can I just say something? Has nothing to do with this meeting.
Make it quick.
But Johnny in the concessions is playing at Bernhardt Winery on Sunday night. And we need to do something fun.
Let's go. Mr. Katie.
Oh, wait a minute, I have something. Resolution.
Mr. Katie, let's get to you, and then we'll get to what Brian said.
As the new precinct chair, I haven't gone through anything as a precinct chair, and what the hell I'm supposed to do. There's a whole bunch of us. Yes, we initially are going to go through that training on election day. But what is there more than that? I'm sure there is.
So Mr. Gabolis is the chairman of the precinct support committee, and he's very knowledgeable, been a precinct chair a long time. If you get with him after the meeting, if you're interested in
We plan on schedule such a class in about 2 weeks.
Okay, good. He'll be the funding for that. Mr. Crumby.
Yes, I'll email everyone.
What's your motion?
I make a motion that we approve this. So my motion is resolved, a resolution, as a resolution resolved, that it is the position of the Montgomery County Executive Committee that the bylaws were duly approved at the June 26th meeting. That's my resolution.
Second.
We'll get to you next, Mr. Barton. Did you get that motion down? Would you mind repeating the motion so the members can hear what they're voting on? The secretary will read Mr. Cumby's motion again. Resolution.
The resolution says, be it resolved that it is the position of the Montgomery County Executive Committee that the bylaws were duly approved at the June 26, 2018 meeting.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any discussion?
Discussion. The new bylaws.
2008.
New bylaws were adopted.
For an amendment.
So it's an amendment, Mr. Boucher?
Because then it could be argued that the old bylaws were the ones adopted, which is seen one of the point of contention, so this would do absolutely nothing to solve the problem. So we need to be clear about which bylaws. The bylaws that were proposed at the 26th meeting.
How about the ones that were substituted, perhaps?
The ones that were adopted on the 26th meeting.
By a vote of 39 to 31, whatever. Something needs to make it.
Make a formal amendment.
Is that your amendment?
Yes.
Does the authoring resolution object to your amendment?
No objection.
So it's automatic.
You're amending it to say that the adopted or the substituted bylaws were duly approved? No. It already. So I'm going to read it. Be it resolved that it is the position of the Montgomery County Executive Committee that the adopted bylaws were duly approved at the June 26, 2018 meeting. The adopted bylaws were duly approved.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Those in favor of the motion, please. Well, no, the author was okay with the amendment, so you don't have to have a vote on it. We're voting on the resolution itself. Yes, sir.
Offer a friendly amendment to introduce in parentheses after adopted 32.
Does the author object?
No. But 39 to 32.
All right, 39 for, 32 against.
32 against.
Okay, any further discussion? Those in favor of the resolution, Mr. Crumey's resolution, please stand. 40 for, any opposed? Please stand. One opposed. Mr. Crumby's resolution passes 40 to 1. Mr. Barton, you've had your hand up for a while.
Yes, I'm John Barton, Precinct 51. Obviously, from the events of tonight and the previous few nights, we're rolling our wheels in the mud. There's a lot of problems going on within the county. I'd like to make a motion. Parliamentarian needs to go to the next step, needs to go to the next authority in the Republican Party to see if we can hold it.
Mr. Barton, good points. There was a complaint filed under RPT Rule 8K last week, I believe, that was in accordance with that, add the signatures of the majority of the precinct chairs. And so the state officials committee will issue a ruling on that they choose.
Okay, I thought that would require an actual motion from the floor.
By getting the majority of the signatures, that's what solidified
I
it.
rescind my motion.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Senator.
2 points of information, if you don't mind. First is, I've been read into the record as to which precincts do not have precinct chairman, and at this day and time. If so, I would like permission of the chair to have that read into the record. And the second question is, I believe I had in the July 26th meeting, I had requested a discussion. The last meeting, I believe I discussed, asked for agenda item for discussion of indemnity for precinct chairs. Was that discussed since I wasn't?
No, sir. This is a special meeting. It's called by the precinct chairs. That will be on the agenda at our next regular meeting. All right, so I believe the precinct chairs, precincts that are vacant. Allison, you have a better list as a vacancy chair. Can you just read that aloud so it can be entered into the record?
Yes.
Or you could even just submit
They're
it.
in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to read it then? The 9, there's 9.
Yeah, let's read it.
Okay, there's 9 vacant precincts. Precinct 2.
Hey, Allison, why don't you come to the...
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, our county has a lot better than other counties. Some of these counties have tons of vacancies. We have 9 vacancies. Precinct 2, Precinct 26, Precinct 37, Precinct 45, Precinct 53, Precinct 73, Precinct 87, Precinct 93, and 95.
Thank you, Mrs. Warner. Mr. Katie, did you have your hand up?
Yes, I did. I wanted to get some clarification on how Dr. Wally said that Montgomery County's Republican Party was a separate entity from the Republican Party of Texas. I mean, it sounded like what was Montgomery County, as he stated, was not tied together, and what their decisions were didn't reflect on what Montgomery County does as a proposed department.
And that assertion would be incorrect, and if you would like further information, I would refer you to the TRCCA opinion that was issued out about a month ago. And that should explain it pretty well. Mr. Gabolis?
Motion that we authorize the steering committee to hand out the access to the Advantage app. So if the whole of the party headquarters is not available, the steering committee could hand out that authorization to precinct chairs.
Second. All right, any discussion on Mr. Gabolis' amendment or resolution? All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Resolution passes. Anything else, members? Mr. Cade, real quick.
At one point, if we don't have access into the Republican Party headquarters, do we start looking for a place of a regular point of meeting? And that we can start a place of operation until we can, Dr. Wally will allow us to conduct business.
The headquarters is open now, so we should be able to conduct business, and anyone's welcome to visit the headquarters during business hours. Yeah, Mr. Allison.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
Those in favor of adjournment, say aye. All right, we stand adjourned.